Hi guys. Very good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining this demo session. So, welcome to TungaBadraNetworks once again. So, today we are going to discuss about the. This is mainly regarding the Palo Alto, right? So, we can go with the Palo Alto demo here. So, let me introduce myself first. I am Karthik, and I will be having 7+ years of experience in the networking domain, including 4 years as an Palo Alto Tech engineer. Okay, so I was working with Palo Alto Tech in till 2023. So I have 4 years of experience in this tech role. So whatever we have learned there, we put it in the codes, and we are providing some real-time examples and real-time scenarios how some situation will be tackled in their real environment. Okay, so this is just like an industrial training where you can learn everything in on real devices where we are going to deploy in the EVNG tool. Okay, so we can start with the what is the firewall. Okay, so as of now I think you have gone with switches, routers, access points, all those things, right? Might be you people having less exposure on the firewalls. Okay, so basically what firewall will do and what is the role of firewall in the security domain. Okay, so what is the role of firewall means firewall is a security device, okay, which is going to provide security to your private network or your internal network. Okay, how it is going to provide security. Okay, so what is the main purpose of firewall in the security means, so it will be sitting between your private network and public network. Okay, so if I want to tell you what is private network and what is public network, so let's assume whatever the network that belongs to you. Okay, what are the network that belongs to you and what is the network or what are the subnets that belongs to you, that will be calling as a private network. And entire internet, okay, whatever that not belongs to you and that belongs to the public or internet, that will be calling as a public network. Okay, in the public we will be having multiple users, we will be having multiple applications, and we'll be having multiple users are available. So to avoid unauthorized access entering into your network means someone try to steal your information or someone try to access your network. Okay, if there is no firewall, they for them it will be easy to reach your network, and what they can do whatever they want. Okay, something like if they want to introduce some antivirus in your network, or if they want to steal your personal information, they are going to send some unauthorized links. Okay, so that's how the attackers use these tools to to steal your information. So to avoid all those things, we are having an firewall in between your private network and public network. What this firewall will do, what this firewall will do means, whenever something coming into your network, the traffic has to flow through this firewall, and this firewall will check, or it will be calling as the firewall will inspect the traffic. Okay, inspect the traffic, and it will be doing an policy enforcement means policy in the sense it will be in the firewall terminology we will be calling as a policy, but in the routers you can call it as an ACLs, right? So it will be going to do an policy enforcement whether this particular user has to be allowed or not. Okay, so if you have configured a policy to allow the user to enter inside, it will be going to provide an access. Otherwise this firewall will be blocking. Okay, this firewall will block those unauthorized access which are entering into your network. Okay, that is the main function of the firewall. Okay, this is going to monitor, and this firewall is going to inspect the traffic, and also it is going to do an policy enforcement for whatever the traffic it has to be allowed, it will allow, and it is going to block whatever the traffic that are intended to drop, okay, or to block entering into your private network. Okay, that's what the firewalls can do. Along with that, the firewall will also do many things that we can discuss in next slides. Okay, so here these firewalls, okay, these firewalls may be in hardware or software. Some of the firewalls will be in hardware, and some will be using software firewalls. Okay, whoever having a capability to handle the hardware firewalls, they can buy from the firewall vendors, and they will be placing in their data centers, and they are going to use those firewalls, hardware firewalls, to protect their network. And some of them are having, okay, they don't have capability to handle the hardware firewalls, or they don't have any space to keep up those hardware firewalls. In that case, they are going with the software firewalls. Okay, these software firewalls will be, okay, deployed in VMs. Okay, in the VMs you will be having, right, VMware or ESXi, or we will be having KVMs. Okay, these are all the VMs that you can deploy software firewalls. And also you can also deploy the software firewalls in clouds. Okay, so clouds like AWS or Azure. Okay, and we'll be having Google Cloud or Oracle Cloud, OCI. Okay, all these clouds are supported, okay, to develop or to deploy the software firewalls. You can deploy anywhere in clouds or VMs, so that you can easily handle them. Okay, so these are the needs of the firewall, and that's how the firewall is going to work. And in these firewalls we'll be having a multiple vendors. Okay, so if you see here, these are the firewalls: Cisco ASA firewall, FortiGate, Palo Alto, Sophos, Barracuda, Checkpoint, and we'll be also having a Sonic Wall firewalls. Okay, and Juniper SRX firewalls, Stone Sort firewalls. All these are software vendors. Okay, and we'll be also having a WatchGuard. Okay, so all these are all the software firewall vendors who are, okay, going to provide security to your network by deploying their, okay, specific firewall vendors. Okay, but why we are going with the Palo Alto firewall? Okay, why we are only going with Palo Alto, why not others? Means, let's discuss here. Okay, so why Palo Alto? Means Palo Alto is an next generation firewall. Let me tell you, okay, what is next generation firewall. So firewall is the first next generation firewall in the security industry. Okay, Palo Alto firewall provides, okay, developed and first next generation firewall in the security industry, and it is going to provide multiple features with this next generation firewalls. Okay, so before going with next generation firewall, you want to know about traditional firewall. Okay, traditional firewall, and then we'll go with next generation firewall. Okay, so what is traditional firewall? Means traditional firewall will provide you the security based on L3. Okay, L3 and L4 information. Okay, so L3 and L4 information. What is L3 information? What contains in the L3?
IP addresses,
IP
IP
addresses.
information.
So IP addresses, and what contains in the L4?
protocols, TCP, UDP protocols.
Ports and services will
Code.
be contents in the L4, right? So based upon the IPs and protocols ports, these traditional firewalls are going to provide you a security. Okay, in the late, okay, in the late 2000s, whatever the traditional firewalls are using, okay, providing a security L3 and L4. And in the late 2000s, there has huge demand for the applications. Okay, and applications start behaving differently. Okay, and some are using, okay, same ports for different applications, and some are using some tunnel traffic, where traffic coming as an encrypted. Okay, traffic coming as an encrypted, but for these traditional firewalls, so these application traffic, whenever the application traffic receives on these traditional firewalls, it is the traditional firewalls face some difficulty to know the what type of application it is, and who are the users that are using, and how the applications are behaving. Okay, these traditional firewalls struggle to identify this type of traffic. Okay, and also these traditional firewalls don't know what type of malwares or what type of threats are available in this application traffic, or layered same traffic. Okay, and in 2008, okay, in 2008, the Palo Alto built its first next generation firewalls, which is going to work, okay, on, okay, which is going to work, okay, beyond layer 3 and layer 4. Okay, beyond layer 3 layer 4 means it will be going to provide security till layer 7. Okay, so it is going to provide security based on L3, L4 and beyond. That means it will be going to provide security on higher layers of our OSI model, which is L7. Okay, and also these next generation firewalls will design to provide deeper visibility and smarter policy enforcement. Okay, deeper visibility in the sense, so whenever the traffic comes, okay, we will be having a next generation firewall. Whenever traffic comes, it's not only going to check, okay, L3 L4 information, it is also going to identify what is the application, okay, using an app ID. It is also going to identify user, okay, who is that user, using an user ID. And also it is going to do an content inspection. Okay, content inspection in sense, what type of, okay, is there any malwares or antivirus or any threats are available in this particular application or not. Okay, that is going to do an in with respective with the content inspection. And these next generation firewalls will also provide IDS and IPS. Okay, so what is IDS, what is IPS means, this is intrusion detection system, and IPS means intrusion prevention system. Okay, IDS will only going to detect threats. Okay, so in the name itself it will be having intrusion detection system, right? So this Palo Alto firewall is going to, if this firewall is configured as an IDS, it only going to detect the malwares or antivirus or threats. Okay, but if the firewall is configured as an IPS, not only it is going to detect, it is also going to prevent those. Okay, prevent in the sense it is going to block those applications which contains malwares, uh, antivirus and threat prevent. Okay, threats, what are the threats that are available in that particular application. Okay, and it is just not, okay, it doesn't just ask, okay, where the this next generation firewall doesn't ask where the traffic comes from, but also it took, okay, what the traffic is doing, and also who is responsible for that. Okay, so these are the capabilities of next generation firewalls, where the next generation firewall is going to do an application identification, user identification, content inspection, IDS, IPS. Okay, all these things will be done by the next generation firewall. Okay, so the Palo Alto firewall is the first next generation firewall where it is going to rule out the traditional firewall functionality. Okay, the traditional firewall will provide security only on L3 and L4. Okay, but beyond the L3 and L4, this next generation firewall will work on higher, okay, higher layer of our OSI model, which is going to provide security based upon L7 information. Okay, so this is how the next generation firewall capabilities. Okay, and what is advanced threat intelligence that Palo Alto firewall is going to provide means, already we have discussed here. whatever the content inspection that we are doing. Okay, so advanced threat intelligence, it will, okay, threat intelligence is going to provide, okay, whenever the traffic receives on the firewall, it is going to do an anti spyware, okay, okay, threat, okay, threat inspection, vulnerability inspection, okay. So and also malwares, okay, if there are any malwares, they are going to identify using this advanced threat intelligence. If anything is identified in that particular traffic, the firewall is going to block that particular traffic and will not allow, okay. So this how the firewall is going to protect our private network of from all those anti spywares, okay, threats, vulnerabilities and malwares into your network, and going to protect, okay, and going to secure our network from all those, okay, from all those malwares, okay. And the centralized management, okay, what is the centralized management that the firewall is going to provide, okay. So the Palo Alto will be having one centralized management device which is called as an panorama. So let's suppose if you have a multiple locations and multiple sites where you are using Palo Alto firewall in multiple sites, okay. But if you want to manage all those firewalls from a single location, so you will be having an, okay, one site is in Hyderabad, so where you are using one Palo Alto firewall or different multiple firewalls, okay. One, okay, one site is in Bangalore, another site is in Chennai, and you will be having one more site is in Mumbai, okay. But you are sitting somewhere in the remote location and you want to manage all those firewalls from a single location, then what you can do means you can deploy one centralized management device. We will be calling here as an panorama, okay. This panorama is an centralized device where it is going to connect to all the firewalls, okay. The firewalls are going to connect to all, okay, to this centralized management device called panorama, and it is going to manage all these firewalls, okay. Manage in sense, not only managing like configuration management, okay. So logging, reporting, okay, all these things is going to do by the panorama, okay. It is just like okay, I think you are well aware about VTP, right, VLAN trunking protocol, where one switch will be acting as a server, other switch will be acting as a clients, right. So whatever you have to do, you have to do it in an server switch, right, VTP server switch. And once you made a changes on the configuration, it will be sending to all the client switches. In the same way, in Palo Alto also, this is a centralized management device where it is going to provide security. Sorry, it is going to provide an configuration management of each and every firewall. Whatever you want to do, you no need to log into these firewalls. You can just log in this centralized device called Panorama, and you can configure whatever you want, and you can push to which firewall you want. Okay, let's suppose I have, okay, I want to configure some policy on firewall which is in Hyderabad, okay. So you are not going to log into this firewall, you are log into this panorama, configure this policy here, and whatever the firewall one, now this policy needs to be in Hyderabad, right. So from this panorama you can push to this firewall, and you want something, some you want to configure some interfaces here, so you can just configure here the interface configuration, and you can push to this firewall, okay. This is how the centralized management will work, and this centralized device will provide configuration management in that, okay, for all the firewalls that is connected, okay. And what is a logging and reporting instance? So whatever the traffic that, okay, our actual traffic will be handled by the firewalls, okay. These firewalls will be going to, okay, log the sessions, okay. It is whatever the traffic that hits on the firewall, it will be going to log the traffic on the particular, whatever the traffic receiving on this firewall. What it will do means, it is also whatever the logs that we have here, it is going to provide to this panorama, where it is going to, okay, permanently stored these logs. Okay, in the firewalls there will be an some retention period will be there. If that retention period completes, these logs will be flushed out. Okay, flushed out in the sense these logs will be deleted, and we cannot see those logs. Okay, to have an permanent storage of those logs, we can send those logs to the our centralized management device panorama. This will be permanently stored. Okay, this will permanently store the logs, and whenever you want, you can use that logs to, okay, to audit your network, and to check what are the traffic that is receiving a network, okay, based upon this firewall. Okay, and this is what the centralized management will provide. And fourth one is an enterprise grade performance. So before knowing about enterprise grade performance, you have to know about the firewall models. What are the firewall models that are available here in the Palo Alto? Okay, if you see here, these firewall models start with PA. Okay, PA means Palo Alto, and the series of firewall, you will be having 220 firewalls, you will be having 400 series firewalls. In 400 you will be having these, okay, 410, 450, 440, and this is 420 firewall. Okay, so these are the firewall models that we have in PA 400. So if I want to show you other models, you will be having PA 5200 and PA 3200. These are the 3200 series firewalls, where you can see 3260, 3250, 3220. And if you see 5200 series, you will be having 5260, 80, 20, and 50. And you will be having an PA 7000 series firewalls, and also PA 1400 series firewalls. Okay, why we will be having these many firewalls? Okay, why can't we use only one firewall in everywhere? So based upon the enterprise size. Okay, so based upon the enterprise size, these firewalls are going to support. Okay, support in sense, the security wise, every firewall will work on the same way, but so the hardware wise, or the type of sessions that these firewalls are going to differ firewall by each and every firewall. Okay, so based upon the enterprise size means, so let's suppose if you have an company with 50 to 100 people. Okay, if you have a company with 50 to 100 people, so these PA 220 and PA 400 series firewalls are enough. Okay, and this will be cost around, okay, 10 to 20 lakhs, I think. So it will be cost around 10 to 20 lakhs, and it will be sufficient for you, where you will be having an less candidates, and where you will be having an less traffic. Okay, so if you are having an more traffic, okay, going with these firewalls will not sufficient, because these firewalls will support limited number of sessions. Okay, let's suppose this firewall supports 2 lakh sessions. Okay, and if you are okay, if your company have more than 2 lakh sessions, okay, this firewall will not capable, and it is going to drop some of your sessions. Okay, or some of your traffic it is going to drop, and it will not be suitable for that. Okay, for that you have to go with PA 3200 and PA 5200 series firewalls. Okay, these PA 3200 series firewalls will be used for mid-range enterprises. Okay, mid-range enterprises, where you will be having where you will be having an okay, 1000 peoples. Okay, 1000 or more than 1000 candidates, and in that case it will be going to support, okay, a large number of sessions. Whenever the traffic comes, there will be an enough sessions to provide, okay, to provide session to the traffic, and allow the traffic from these firewalls. Okay, and this 5200 will be going to support on large scale. Okay, okay, large price or large scale enterprise, and it is also going to support, okay, multiple sessions. And also these firewalls will be having, okay, whenever compared with these PA220 and 4000 series firewalls, these firewalls will be having an greater RAM size and also greater storage space, greater SSD, and where, okay, it is going to perform, okay, task very easily whatever they have, okay, whatever the traffic comes and how much of traffic comes in from their network, okay. And these 7000 series firewalls will mostly see in the ISPs, okay. So these ISPs will handle lot of customers, right? The ISPs will handle lot of customers, and whenever there is, okay, a lot of customers, these 7000 series firewalls will be suitable, where these firewalls, okay, will be like an rack size, okay. So if you see the 16 unit rack or 15 unit rack, this will be like that much of size, where you each, okay, these firewall contain a modules, okay. So each and every module has its own functionality, where it is going to support multiple customers from a single location. That is the reason these 7000 series firewall will mostly see in the ISPs, or you can see in the data centers, okay. So if you want to use, if you are using PA220 in the data centers, that cannot handle, okay. So that is the purpose of having multiple series of firewalls in Palo Alto. That is what the enterprise grade performance. So all these firewalls will provide security in a same way, okay. These security features will depends on the pan OS which we are going to install in each and every firewall, okay. But this pan OS cannot differ on each and every firewall. We are using same pan OS on each and every firewall, and that is going to provide security in the same way, but hardware level, all the firewall will differ, like RAM size, okay, the storage, and the sessions that is going to support, that may be differ. But if you use PA220, or if you use, okay, 7000 series firewall, they will provide same security, okay. One more thing is also, if, okay, if your company size is 50 to 100 people, and your company budget is also very less, right? So going to buy an high end firewalls will cost more to your company, right? That is also one factor that you want to limit budget to your company. That is also one more reason. So if your company budget is low, and if your company, okay, if your company size is very low, going with high end firewalls will not be an suitable. This will also provide same security, this will also provide same security, but based upon your company's size and budget, you have to go with that. So if your company is suitable with this 220 and 400 series firewalls, you can go ahead and buy. And if you have the company size, okay, 1000 people or more, you can go with PA220, sorry, PA3200. And if your company size is more than 5000, like, okay, 5000 people, that will be considered as a large enterprise, okay. There you can go with 5200. In ISPs, it is going to provide security, okay, or using an PA7000 series firewall. And we'll be also having an PA1400 series firewalls, where it is also going to provide security, and okay, we'll be using an mid to large size enterprises, but it will be something differ with all these firewalls, okay. What is what is the difference, what these 4 and 4 1400 series firewall make difference means, these firewalls will support PoE, okay, where this all the firewall has not, okay, this firewall will not support any PoE, but they have introduced a new firewall with 1400 series. It is going to support PoE. I think you are well aware of PoE, right? Power over Ethernet.
Yes.
So power over Ethernet. So if your network don't have any PoE switch, okay, So these firewalls, okay, you can buy these 1400 series firewalls where it will also provide okay, PoE, where one interface, okay, I think these, okay, only limited interfaces are going to configure as an PoEs, okay, PoE interfaces, where you can connect, okay, your powered devices, which is IP phones or any other powered devices, where it is going to provide power along with the data, okay, the provide power along with the data to have communication, okay. So mostly you can see IP phones, right, where these IP phones need IP address, along with that it will also need an power also. So instead of connecting the power cables on one side and Ethernet cable on one port, so we can use only a single port where it is going to provide power as well as, okay, data to your powered devices, and to make a communication, okay. This is one good thing that they have bring up in the 1400, okay, series firewalls, where it is going to support power over Ethernet, okay. And this is some, okay, this is some common example. I have some picture that I have taken where it is showing whatever the legitimate traffic that wants to send to the internet or receive from the internet, so it is going through, or other whatever the attackers that they want to enter in your network, so this firewall is going to block by using some predefined rules that we are going to configure here, okay. And
Sir, actually, I'm having one.
yeah, go ahead.
Uh, Sir, how that firewall device will come to know that this is the authorized information and this is unauthorized traffic?
Yeah,
How
we are,
that firewall device will come?
yeah, we are going to create the policies or rules, okay. Based upon this, it is going to identify whether it is an authorized or unauthorized, okay. Whatever the authorized or whatever the things that we want, we are going to allow using it policies, and whatever the traffic that matching with this policy, the firewall will think that that is an authorized, okay, and then it is going to allow to enter in your network. And whatever we are blocking, okay, so creating a policy or rule, and we are blocking the things, okay, blocking the traffic, and whatever the firewall, whatever the policy that we are creating to block, the firewall will be treating that as an unauthorized, okay, and that they are going to block to enter into our network. Got it?
Yes, sir, understood.
Yeah. So these are about the Palo Alto firewall that we are going to learn. Okay, that we are going to do with the Palo Alto firewall, and we'll also having an VPN support. So what is a VPN support? Means the Palo Alto firewall is going to provide extensive VPN support, where it is going to provide an VPN, okay, capability between different sites using an IPsec VPN, as we have learned in the CCNA. I think you most of the people joined in the CCNA course, right? Anyone having, okay? Anyone don't know about the IPsec VPNs? So in this Palo Alto, so the VPN support, the Palo Alto is going to provide IPsec VPN support, okay? Remote access VPN and SSL VPN. Okay, these are the things that we are going to learn in the VPN support. So IPsec is mainly between the two different sites. Okay, if you have a company, let's assume I have an TBN company, and I have one branch office is in Hyderabad. Okay, and one more branch office is in Bangalore. So I want to send my confidential information, okay, my inside confidential information I want to send from Hyderabad to Bangalore, okay. So if I want to send this confidential information, it is going over the internet, right? So whenever I am sending a confidential information, no one in the internet has to see my information, and no one has to be modify my information, and no one want to, okay, modify and send their information to my other site. Okay, to avoid all those things, we need to build an one tunnel between our branch offices. Okay, so okay, our branch offices, to build that tunnel between our branch offices to safe and, okay, to transfer our data safe and securely, we want to use an IPsec. Okay, this Palo Alto is going to provide an IPsec, and also the remote access VPNs. Okay, so this is a different case where you are going to use an remote access VPNs. And if someone, okay, if someone working from remote location and they want to connect to the their office network. Okay, let's assume I have an, okay, same TBN office, and my, okay, my, okay, my employees are working from home. Okay, my employees are working from home, and they want to access some of the applications that are available in the, okay, internal, okay, this is a company premises. This is my inside company premises where I have hosted a server, and this employee who is doing working from home, they want to access some application from this server, or they want to mark their attendance, and for that they have to access one more application, or if they want to, okay, open any, okay, URL that is related to the work, okay, they want to access these things. Okay, so whenever they are trying to access, so it is also going via internet. Okay, and if they were trying to access, what this company will do, this whatever the relate, okay, whatever the information that is related to my company, that will be a confidential. I don't want to expose over the internet. So if I want, if I expose that over the internet, that may cost my company, and that may lose my confidentiality, and that information will be exposed internet. They will comes to know what what are the things that I am going to use inside my company, that I don't want to expose. What I am doing is, I am, before entering into the internet, so I am deploying a okay, I already deployed a firewall. So I am going to, okay, use remote access VPNs. Okay, in the Palo Alto, we are going to use Global Protect VPN as a remote access VPN. Okay, so Global Protect VPN, where we are going to install one software in the, okay, user laptop, and once they connect to this Global Protect VPN, which is a remote access application, we are forming a secure tunnel between the user and the company, okay, you between their company and the user laptop, which, okay, the secure tunnel where the users can access the inside servers, or inside applications, or inside URLs safe and securely, without any, okay, without anything exposing to the internet. Okay, they are forming an secure tunnel between the user and the company. Okay, so that is the remote, okay, remote access VPNs, and these SSL VPNs that are commonly used in everywhere where you are browsing something on the internet, and that in that traffic has to be flown over the internet in the secure manner, that will be taken care by the SSL. Okay, and we have discussed about SSL handshake, where it is going to provide a secure tunnel, that we can discuss one more time in this SSL handshake. Okay, so these are the options that, okay, these are the features that we are using, and these are the features that why we are opting with the Palo Alto firewalls. Okay, and other firewalls are also, okay, other firewall also provide the security, but not this much extents. Okay, we'll be having the Palo Alto is the first next gen firewalls. Other than that, we'll be having an FortiGate, but FortiGate will not providing that much of security when compared with the Palo Alto. Okay, and these are the things why we are going with an Palo Alto firewall, and these are the models. And now we are, okay, what we are going to cover during these codes. Okay, what are the things that we are going to learn okay, in this course. And before that, this program we have designed to cover in 25 days. Okay, what are the essential features that are required, okay, to work in the real time environment, okay, to work in the real time environment, and to tackle the situations where, okay, real time, okay, in the real time environment, and how to tackle the situations and how to troubleshoot the things whenever you are going to work with the Palo Alto. That's okay, that are the things that we have put it in this course, and we are going to learn in the span of, okay, 25 days. So what are the things that we are going to do? Okay, first we are going to learn the firewall fundamentals. Okay, what are the fundamental things that we have in the firewalls, and what are the things that we need to learn, okay, in these fundamental means hardware types. Okay, whatever the hardware that we have seen here, so we are going to see that the same in the hardware types, and also the interface types. Okay, so here in the Palo Alto firewall, so if you see here, these are the interfaces. Okay, so each interface you can configure in multiple types. Okay, so you can configure this interface as L2 or L3, or you can configure as an aggregate interface, or you can configure VLAN interface. Okay, and this interface you can also configure as an HA interface. I think HA means high availability, where this high availability we can use to provide redundancy to your network. How VRRP works, this high availability will also work in the same way in the Palo Alto. So this interface will you can use for the HA. Okay, and these are the types of interface that each and every interface is going to support in the Palo Alto firewall, that we can learn extensively in these interface types. And zones, why we are using zones in the Palo Alto firewalls, okay, that we are going to learn. And what is the purpose of interface management profile, what is life of packet, means when something, okay, when some traffic, let's suppose I have received one packet on the firewall, and if that packet, so the firewall has to be inspect, right? So if firewall want to inspect this packet, what are the things that the Palo Alto firewall is going to do to send the traffic out? Okay, there are multiple stages that are available in the life of a packet. And how much, okay, this life of a packet includes how the traffic will be inspected inside the firewall, not on the, okay, not on the LAN side or WAN side. This is mainly inside the firewall. If something has entered in the firewall, if the traffic needs to be come out, what firewall has to be do? If something is happened inside the firewall, means if something is happen or if something wrong with this packet, the firewall will not just pack it out. Okay, the firewall will drop the packet. That we are going to learn in the life of packet. And in this life of a packet we will be having multiple stages. If that stages has validated, and if the packet has qualified all the stages, then only the packet will come out. If the packet has failed in any one of the stages, the firewall will drop the packet and the packet will not be come out of the firewall. Okay, and we will be having in session types. Okay, and what are the sessions, and what type of sessions that are available in the Palo Alto, that we are going to learn here. And also upgradation of the firewall. Okay, so pan OS upgradation, the OS that we are using in the Palo Alto firewall we will be calling as an pan OS. These pan OS will be having multiple, okay, multiple series of images. So if I want to go from one series to other series, or one pan OS version to other pan OS version, what is the procedure and how we can upgrade the firewalls, that we can learn here. And also we can learn how to take the configuration backup. Not only this, we can also learn some more things like how to apply the license on the firewall, or how can we retrieve the license from the license server on the Palo Alto firewall. Okay, all these basic things we are going to learn in these fundamentals. And this, okay, lab setup, we are going to provide support doing an lab setup on EVENG. Okay, we are using a tool called EVNG to set up a lab For this you need your own laptop. Okay, you need your own laptop with at least 16 GB of RAM. Okay, plus I think you if you need, if it is has 512 GB of your SSD. And nowadays we are facing some issue with this EVNG where your laptop is okay latest generation, like 13th generation. This EVNG is not going to support. Better if you have okay 11th generation or 12th generation laptop. So this we can going to deploy, or we are going to install this lab in your laptop. Okay, so we are going to provide a lab setup as well, and also we are doing labs every each and every topic. We will be having one lab. Okay, and after that you will be having a troubleshooting session if something is happened okay in that particular scenario, what we need to do and how we can troubleshoot. We will be having that in each and every topic. Okay, so here the basic lab implementation, whatever we have learned here, we are going to do this in the basic lab implementation, and we'll be having in a basic troubleshooting after all these things. Okay, these all we are going to cover in the first 7 days of our course. Okay, in 7 days we are going to learn all these things. Okay, and next we'll be having an SSL decryption where your okay SSL traffic means something you are browsing on the internet. Let's suppose you are browsing www.facebook.com. Okay, this facebook.com, if I type www.facebook.com, so the underlying protocol will be is an using is an HTTPS. I will show you right away. Okay, if you see here, I am typing www.facebook.com. Okay, so I got an access to the Facebook. If you see here, you can see an protocol. Okay, what is the protocol that is using? It is an HTTPS, right? HTTPS is the protocol that is using for this okay web browsing traffic. Okay, mostly if you see the HTTPS, that is an secure traffic. Okay, where your Facebook traffic is going to encrypt over the internet. Okay, so if that encrypted traffic receives on the firewall, okay, if that encrypted traffic receives on the firewall, how the firewall is going to okay inspect the traffic, that we are going to learn in the SSL decryption. This encrypted traffic, if we receive encrypted traffic, the firewall has to be decrypt, right? So that is what the SSL decryption means. Okay, what is SSL decryption, what are the stages that are involved, and we can learn more about that in the SSL decryption class. Okay, and we will be having an URL category and filtering. Okay, this will define what type of URLs that your okay your company needs. And let's suppose you have a company. So let me erase this all these things. So let's suppose you have a company, and in your company your okay your employees needs to be okay only focus on the work that is required, and they don't want anything extra. Okay, they don't want to access any extra things in your company premises. Okay, now I have an TBN company, and my in my company I have multiple users. Okay, I have multiple users, and I want these users to access only my company related things. Okay, they don't want to access anything unrelated to my okay anything related anything not related to my company. So what we are going to do means, whatever these things are required, we are going to provide access to them, and rest of them we are going to block. Okay, by creating okay URL category and filtering. Okay, whatever the URLs that you want to work or work for your employees, you can use this URL category and mention whatever the URLs that you want. You can mention here in the firewall, and you can provide an access to them. And rest, okay, rest means, let's suppose social media. Okay, social media includes the users don't want to access Facebook, users don't want to access Instagram, users don't want to access Snapchat or Twitter, anything related to social media, they don't want to access. So we are creating a URL category and filtering, and we are blocking all these social media app applications to access from their missions, so that they cannot access them. So that we are going to learn in the URL category and filtering. Okay, so we'll be having, okay, each and every topic we'll be having a lab and also the troubleshooting session. Okay, here also you will be having a lab and also the troubleshooting session. Okay, and next, the IPsec VPN. Okay, we have discussed, right? If you want to send our confidential information between our branch offices, we need to build an IPsec VPN. In these IPsec VPNs, what are the fundamental things? Okay, how the IPsec is going to provide security, so using an phase 1 and phase 2 tunnels. Okay, and what are route based VPNs and policy based VPNs, and how to do an configuration to build up an IPsec tunnels, and also if something is happened on the IPsec tunnel, how can you troubleshoot that, we can discuss here. Okay, and the global protect VPN, we already discussed, right? If someone working from home, how they want to connect and how the tunnel will build up, and how they can access the internal resources securely while doing work from home. So this global protect will help in that. So high availability is mainly for redundancy. Okay, if you have only one firewall in your network, okay, this is your network. If you have one firewall in your network, this is going to handle your all incoming and outgoing traffic. Okay, whenever this firewall goes down, now this firewall went down, there will be a no firewall to provide your security, right? There may be a chance of someone will enter in your network. Okay, to avoid that, we are going to use two firewalls in a redundant manner. Okay, I think you are well aware of the VRRP, right? So in the routing, you have done VRRP and HSRP, right?
Yes, sir.
So in the same way, in Palo Alto, we are going to use high availability. Okay, we will be calling as an HA. So the firewall will, okay, firewall 1 and firewall 2. This firewall 1 will become active. Okay, and this firewall 2, okay, will be acting as a passive, or we can call it as a standby. So all the traffic will be flow through this active firewall. Okay, and sending out to the internet, and whatever the coming from outside, it is the firewall 1 will be handling. Okay, which is active. Whenever this active firewall went down, all your traffic shift towards the standby, and at the time this standby will become active, take the active role, and it will be handling the traffic whatever coming, okay, from inside, or whatever the coming from the outside. Okay, so if you have in two firewalls in your network, and that will be that will be using a redundancy, that will be helpful to minimize the outages, or to minimize to avoid traffic loss or anything that causing using an, okay, single firewall. Okay, in this case you can avoid single point of failure where if you use redundancy in your network. Okay, that we are going to, okay, see in the high availability, and we can having a lab with configuration, how can we make firewall 1 active and firewall 2 passive. Okay, and that we can learn in the configuration lab. And if something, okay, if something is happen on these firewalls, how can we troubleshoot, that will be going to learn in the troubleshooting session. Okay, and the panorama, which will be calling as a centralized management device, and what are the things that we are going to see in the panorama, and what are the configuration that we have to do, how this centralized management device manage the all the firewalls. So if you have 200s of firewalls in your company, this all 200 firewalls you can manage using the single device called panorama. Okay, and what are the device group, what are the templates, how logging and reporting will work, and this commit will be having a separate session. So commit is something like, okay, if you have okay, if you have configured something on your firewall, that configuration has to be saved, right? So in the Cisco, you are using right running config, right, for saving the configuration. In the same way, the Palo Alto, in the Palo Alto, we are using a commit to save whatever the changes that we have made in the firewall. if that want to reflect in the running configuration, we need to do a commit. This will be having a separate class where what will be the firewall is doing, what is the backend process when you commit the changes on your firewall. That we will be having a separate class for this commit. You can learn more extensively on this, okay. And these are the topics that we are going to cover in the span of 25 days. In these 25 days, okay, we will be learning everything related to the firewall, and everything related to the configuration and also the troubleshooting, okay. And if you see the pay scales of, okay, network security role, you will be having a L1 engineer, L2 engineer, L3 engineer, tier 2, tier 3. So based upon the role, these are the average pay scales that, okay, that industry is providing, but this is not exact value. This is average values. This may differ from the company to the company, and based upon the company budget and based upon the demand on the particular role, they will be providing. But these are the averages that we are that the security industry is providing. And after this tier 3, you will be having an specialist role, you will be having principal engineer role, and after that you will be having, okay, you may maybe become a directors or VPs, okay, SVPs, and you can also become an, okay, CEOs as well, okay. If you are going along with way with one company, you maybe become a CEO in one stage, but that depends on your progress and that depends on your skills, okay. These are the pay skills that we have here, okay. And I think this completes everything about the Palo Alto firewalls that we are going to learn throughout these course and throughout these 25 days, okay. And the session is yours now. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask me, you know.
Hi Karthik, good morning. Myself Ganesh.
Yeah, hi Ganesh, yes, go ahead.
Uh, Actually, I'm working for Uploaders Private Limited. My client location using the Fortinet
Okay.
devices,
Mm-hmm.
but my HO is using the Palo Alto.
Okay.
Maybe why I'm saying whenever my client pieces, I am seeing the global protector.
Mm-hmm.
How it is happening?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, could you repeat that question once? You are using 40 gate in your premises?
Yeah. My client locations, I am seeing the Fortinet devices. This is
Okay.
they configured.
Mm-hmm.
But when I seeing the client pieces and all, global protect is saying. See,
Okay.
you were saying that Palo Alto is using the VPN support,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
FortiGate also supporting the global protect.
No, no, no.
How it is? How it
FortiGate
is?
will be having an 40 client as an global protect. Okay, as how we'll be having a global protect in Palo Alto. So the FortiGate will be having an 40 client.
Correct, no? So in this case, how I am able to seeing in my client PCs and all, they are using the global
Maybe,
protect.
yeah, maybe they are using a Palo Alto firewall to have, okay, to route the traffic from their clients to connect to their remote, okay, to connect from their remote location. They are using Palo Alto firewall in that case, I think. For this
Okay, so
remote access VPNs, they are using Palo Alto firewall to connect.
oh, so you're saying that from the Palo Alto to you can able to connect the 40 client like that routing is happening.
Not like that. The Palo Alto and FortiGate are different. They maybe don't have uh, this remote access capability in the same way. If you are using Global Protect, okay, if you are using Global Protect, they are using 40, okay, they are using Palo Alto firewall in their environment. Maybe they are forming any IPsec tunnels between the FortiGate and Palo Alto that will be routing and traffic through the tunnel, but not sure. But if you are seeing an Global Protect in the clients, okay, they may be, okay, they surely using an Palo Alto in their network.
Okay, but in my case, I am
Mm-hmm.
opening the Fortinet.
Mm-hmm.
I am able to seeing the all the policies, all the configuration rules and all configured in the Fortinet itself.
Mm.
But I am not able to seeing any Palo Alto devices, my premises.
So in your premises there is no Palo Alto firewall, but you are using Global Protect. Is that the thing that you are saying,
Correct,
right?
correct, correct, correct,
Yeah.
correct.
See, if you are seeing a Global Protect VPN, there may be a chance of okay, routing your traffic. uh, Maybe they are routing the traffic from FortiGate to the, okay, to reach the Palo Alto, something like that they will be using, not sure. But for sure somewhere they are using a Palo Alto to route this your remote access VPNs.
Okay, understood.
I guess any questions?
Bro, what about fee, bro?
Sorry.
Fee.
I think fee structure will be available here in this. Okay, if you okay, you can go on the website. So there is a fee structure available. So go ahead
Okay.
on the fee structure. You can see the, okay, this registration fee is there for every new candidate with 500 rupees, which is not refundable. And you can see the, so we'll be having an Palo Alto PCNSE program, which is costing around 11,000 plus GST. So this is a Palo Alto PCNSE program where it will be having an 11,000 plus GST. And if you are already in then okay, if you are already an candidate in the TungaBadraNetworks, and if you are already chooses any core internship, okay, you no need to worry. Our team is going to added you in the Palo Alto course based upon your completion of CCNA program. Okay.
Okay. So suppose I'm having 3 years non-IT or IT experience,
Okay.
can I go only with Palo Alto, or do we
No,
need any?
I will suggest you. Okay, you can learn if you have any basics of networking. That is good. If you don't know anything about the networking, if you want to go with Palo Alto, I will say no.
Okay, okay.
Because if you have an basics of networking, you can understand how the packet will flow in the networks, and how the devices will okay, will analyze the packet, will understand the packet, so that you can,
I do have basics.
sorry,
I do know. I do know basics.
you know.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, if you know, that is fine. Okay, you can understand. But if you don't know the networking basics, I will suggest go with CCNA first, then take the this PCNSE course.
Okay, okay. Then we can go for experience.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Karthik, you are saying that with the fee along with the certificate, you are saying 11,000
No, no, no,
or
no.
only
That
base?
is that is not certification fee. That is only
Okay,
an course fee.
okay,
Certification,
okay.
that is global certification. That is a different case. That will cost around 170 to $180.
Okay.
Maybe it will
You
cost
mean say,
around. Sorry.
okay, you were saying that only the fee structure is 11,000,
Yes.
including that registration fees, correct?
Registration fees.
And what about the course guidance? Means materials, how will we provide?
Yeah, we'll be providing each and everything. So here we'll be having an training videos where this password is protected. Okay.
Mhm.
So we'll be providing this password only for the registered candidates, where you can see all the materials here, and also what are the materials that needed for interview purpose. We'll be having in uh, basic, okay, troubleshooting scenarios. We'll be having Palo Alto CLI cheat sheet, interview guidance. Okay, everything will be available here in this, okay, in this Palo Alto training. So once you registered, so you will get this password. You can use this password to get all those materials. Those are downloadable. You can download once you get an access. And because this password will keep on changing once every 15 to 20 days to have, okay, more security to those. So it will, the materials which we have uploaded here are downloadable. You can download and keep in your okay, keep in your local laptop for to have a quick visibility.
Okay, this passwords and all, for how many days it will be?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That will be okay. For every 15 to 20 days, we are going to change, or we are rotating the passwords. So you can access with that password of 15 to 20 days. So if you still, if you have not downloaded and you forgot to download after 15 days, so if we change the password, you can contact us. We'll be providing a new password so that you can go ahead and download at any time.
And do one more favorable means if I am not using the see,
Mm,
I'm most of the time I'm in the company premises only.
okay.
So my so in this case you can provide the VPN supported link like that for that doing the lab sessions.
Sorry, could
So
you?
I am not using the my personal laptops in the company premises.
Mm-hmm,
So most of the time I'm spending in the company's premises.
mm-hmm,
So I need to do the practice. For that
mm-hmm.
case, I requested to provide your end the link. By utilizing the link, I can use do the lab sessions.
Actually, actually, we'll be having a cloud lab, so that is not working properly right now. So we are going to buy a new server, but that will take 10 to 15 days of time to build up. So once this servers build up, we'll be providing that support also. But as of now, we'll be having an cloud lab, but that is facing some problems to access. That's why the reason we are going to mostly we are mostly focusing on the personal laptops only. So because of that some issues with the cloud lab, so once we build up in the dedicated server, so we'll provide that access as well, but that will take time. That it maybe it will take 15 to 20 days to build up. We are going to purchase new one, but we haven't purchased it.
Okay, understood.
Anything, any questions?
And final question
Yeah.
from my end.
Hmm.
Instead of I don't want to, I just want to the labs and sorry, I need just want the materials and video courses. Could you
Hmm.
provide those things?
Yeah,
I
we
don't
can.
want to attend the classes.
Yeah, we can also provide that, but that may cause the same thing. That is the different thing that we have, but that will also cause the same thing.
Okay, fine, fine. Thank you.
Yeah, no issues. Any other questions, guys? Others?
And one more thing from
Hmm.
my
Yeah,
side, sorry.
yeah. Go ahead.
And for those things, I need to do the automated things. Could you support means, for example, I need to do the firmware upgradation activity. I want to do the automated. So for that, I need to write the Python script and I need to upload those things. Could you able to support?
Python things we are not going to support on that, but we'll be having an different course for that network automation. So that there we are going to provide in that case.
So this is that is a separate case you are saying, correct?
Yes, that we are not going to cover here in this course.
Okay. So for that one, I need to pay separately amount, correct?
That will be a separate thing. Yeah. Okay, guys, any questions? Yeah, I think we'll take it as no. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time on the session. Okay. So our next batch, our new batch is going to start from December 26th from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you are really interested in this, you can go ahead and register. Okay. After this session, we are providing an registration link. You can go ahead and use that registration link to enroll for this course. If you are already part of any core internship programs here in the TBN, no need to worry. Our team will be going to join in the next Palo Alto batch. Okay, And thanks for your time on this session, and have a good day. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye, bro.
thank you, Karthik.
Yeah.
Bye.